Welcome back, UFC fans, and this is my first video of the new year 2021 for UFC, and kicking off with UFC 257 tomorrow, the 23rd on Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. And this time around, there's going to be 2,000 fans in attendance. Obviously, there's a little bit more leeway in the Middle East in terms of fights and sporting events, as we know from last year, for all MMA and also for Strongman. There's been lots of stuff going on. But anyway, obviously, back to the actual fight. So last time these guys met was in 2014 for 178. And obviously, Daniel lost to Conor at the time, and since then he's gone on to do really well, absolutely smashing it in the lightweight division, being the former interim fighter, and now he's finally got his revenge against Conor, and he's hoping to reclaim the title and obviously show to people in the world that he is better than Conor, and he's come a long way in this time. Now, as we know, this is actually the third time since Conor announced his retirement in 2020 that he's going to be coming back out of retirement. So obviously, it doesn't matter how much money is involved. This guy, he just loves the sport and loves to fight, and doesn't want to quit. And he's only 32, so he's still a young guy. And as we know, he in his last fight against Cowboy Cerrone last January, that ended in 40 seconds, and he came away pretty well off after that. I think it was about 23 million he got for that fight, and obviously he is the highest paid UFC fighter of all history as a result. I've just watched the weigh-ins, and obviously I've got a bit of footage here. So Conor actually comes in at 155, looks in great shape, nice and lean, looking confident as always. He wasn't aggressive at all. He seemed a lot more mature and respectful towards everyone, including Daniel. And obviously when I saw his kids in the crowd afterwards, which was quite nice. He's a real family man now. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I'm on the fence. He's a good guy, he's a bad guy. He's great for the sport, no matter what you think. And yeah, okay, he lost to Khabib, but he's certainly had a good career in general in terms of what he's achieved. So, like or hate him, I'm on the fence. I like him. I don't dislike him, but he's not a bad guy at all, in my opinion. Now, Daniel comes in just slightly heavier at 156, obviously, so they both make their weight. Again, Daniel's in great shape. I think he's definitely he's got a lot more lean muscle on him now than he did back in the day when he was a bit younger. And you can see that they're men now. They're a lot older in terms of how they look. They're mature and they're experienced, and they're seasoned athletes. And there's a little joke here where Daniel passes him I think it's some hot sauce from Louisiana. So, a bit of banter, but it's nice to see between the two. They're still going to kick the shit at each other, so who cares? Now, Conor's been obviously talking a lot on social media since last year and early January as well, that he's promising a masterpiece, and he says he's going to make lightweight of his opponent, basically saying that he thinks it's going to be over in the first round, 60 seconds or less, and pretty much on par with what he did with Cowboy Cerrone. But that's not necessarily the case. A lot has changed since their first ever fight, and you can't really look at the first fight and go, yeah, this is an easy one for Conor. It's not going to go the same way again. It's definitely going to be different, and they're better fighters. It's a simple fact. Both of them have done really well. Conor has had less fights recently, I will say, but he's had time off. He's had time away, and every time he's come back, apart from the Khabib fight, he's won. So it's not like he's lost it. He's still very much in the game, in the sport, and he's still very much in great physical condition. And he's certainly, I'd say, a good forerunner for the win. I am completely on the fence, though. I can't really give you a definite prediction. I'll be honest, though, in terms of how I've looked at Daniel progress over the years, and from his first fight with Conor, I think that he could win. Now, the bookies have different odds on that. 20-1 for Conor to win, and also they're saying, because obviously they're backing up what he says from his masterpiece, and when he won so quickly and easily against Cowboy, who by no means was a shit fighter, they're saying first round 50-1 that he's going to win. So I want to know what you guys think on that. Do you think that's a fair prediction? Have you done any have you put any bets on yourself? And if you have, what have you gone for? First round for Conor or for Daniel? I'd be interested to know on that one. I'm not a betting man, but I will say in terms of what I'm thinking, I'm hoping it's going to be more than 1 round. I would like at least 4 rounds, and I want to see some actual groundwork. I don't want to just see Conor taking out his opponent in just one hit, which he's done in the past a couple of times. You know, it's entertaining, and it's also very impressive because of the power and the accuracy and whatnot. But it's also boring because it's over before it started, and you know, there's all this hype for these fights, and you know, COVID has really caused a lot of problems last year going into this new year now. And you know, you don't want to have a shit quick fight. It's a fact. You want to see a proper fight, people really wrestling, grappling, you know, all the groundwork, get ground and pound. You want to see proper MMA. You don't want to see a great kick or a great punch. You know, that's Thai boxing or that's boxing. This is MMA. It's a different ball game. So I want to see both of them having to work for it and really grind to get that win. Not easy for either of them, because then it's just boring. You know, we don't want to watch boring fights. We want to see guys that are very well matched at the top of their game, absolutely smashing it. So the back end from this fight, though, I will say, if Conor actually puts on a great show and he wins and is ultimately successful, then a rematch with Khabib could be on the cards. And as we've seen, Dana is trying his best to tempt Khabib out of retirement and you know, basically pay him and bribe him to come back. And he's probably, I know he's actually there. He's actually I saw a photo with him with Dane actually at Fight Island, so he's obviously interested still and wants to still be involved. But in terms of Daniel, I mean, Poirier, he's got a lot to show. It's been 6 years. He wants this. He's still hungry, and he wants to take on Khabib. We know obviously he has also fought Khabib and lost, but he's also done really well, and he's actually beaten the co-main event tonight, which is obviously Dan Hooker. He actually has already beaten him before, so he doesn't want to go beneath in terms of opponents. He just wants to go above, and obviously he's setting his sights on Conor first of all, to beat him, to get that, you know, rivalry settled, and then hopefully, if Khabib would agree to it, to actually have a rematch with him and see what happens there. I would love that to happen. I do hope that whether he wins or loses tomorrow night, that Daniel gets a bit more of the lion's share, because I know Conor's obviously the biggest name in the sport, but he's still there with him. There's a 2-man fight, not a 1-man fight. Despite the fact, obviously, that the former 2-weight champion McGregor has said that he will donate a massive amount of his money to charity, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but I hope there'll be a bit more fairness going in towards these big fights, you know, the main cards. So, in case you don't know, Daniel is 31, McGregor's 32. Obviously, Conor's being Irish and Daniel's American. In terms of their height, they're quite similar. They're not too different in terms of height and stature, similar reach as well. The record stands for Conor 22-4, 26-6 for Poirier, Daniel Poirier, and also knockouts and submissions. So knockouts 20, submissions 19 for Daniel. So interesting stats. You know, I think they've really are quite closely matched, and there's every chance that it's going to be a very entertaining and surprising fight. Don't write off Daniel straight away just because you got some fanboys for Conor or people who just think Conor's the main man irregardless. I think Daniel is quite evenly matched now to Conor. So as always, the event is pay-per-view, and in the UK it's going to be shown on BT Sport box office. It starts at 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. It's going to cost about £20, and the prelims kick off between 1 and 3 a.m. And obviously the main card's going to be about 3 a.m. onwards. I just want to quickly leave you though on something with a little interview of Dana here when it comes to talking about the piracy in the sport.
Then I'll give you a bottle after, yeah?
It's perfect. Dane, I just want to ask you, like I said, I mean, this is a huge pay-per-view event to kick off the year. You kind of stirred the pot a little bit with the piracy, the online streamers. They want to come after you and give this thing away. So, any regret in kind of maybe stirring the pot a little bit?
I'm glad you asked me about that, because we got one. We got him. We're watching this guy right now. All you have to do is turn it on Saturday, and we got you, fucker. I can't wait. Turn it on Saturday, streamers, and see what happens. Thank you for asking me that question.
So what do you think on that one, guys? Do you think Dana actually has someone, you know, that they've cracked down on them? They've managed to finally find some of the key players in the industry that are constantly cheating and using different streaming services to put the fights on for free. I honestly don't think they can do that. You know, there's millions of people around the world and many ways to evade, you know, basically the piracy police on you. So I know, I get where he's coming from. He doesn't lose all that money, but people are always going to try and find a way to exploit sports, music, and other industries. It's a fact. It's been going on since the internet started. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, but let me know in the comment section below what you think about that, what he said, and hope you guys like the fight. Obviously, good luck to all the other athletes that are going to be fighting tomorrow night. Obviously, we've got a lot of different people on the fight card. I wish them all the best of luck, and let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win tomorrow against Daniel and also McGregor, and any of the other athletes in the co-main event. Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video today, guys, as always, I remind you to please like, comment and subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Amigo Juan Finis, signing out.